silence I couldn't fill. In every echo I hear you still. The coffee's cold, the lights are dim. Your ghost lives on in everything. I talk to shadows in the dark, still hoping you will leave a mark. And then the rain knew my name, falling gently like your pain. Every drop became your touch, soft and fleeting, never too much. You were gone but somehow stayed. When the rain knew my name, your sweater's folded on the chair. I breathe you in, you're everywhere. I wear your memory like perfume. It lingers long after you left the room. I still keep your favorite song. Pretend I'm fine but I sing it wrong. And then the rain knew my name, falling stories on my window pane. Each year the fell was not the same, some for sorrow, some for blame, but they all whisper your name. When the rain knew my name, baby, love was meant to fade, but not the dreams we softly made. I still walk where you once stood, and the sky somehow understood. And now the rain knows my name. It holds me close and hides my shame. Though you're gone, I'm not alone. The storm became my second home, and I found peace in the pain. When the rain knew my name, and it still knows, it still rains, and it still calls me by your name. It still knows, it still rains, and it still calls me by your name. Gently like your pain, every drop became your touch, soft and fleeting, never too much. You were gone but somehow stayed. When the rain knew my name, it still knows, it still rains, it still calls me by your name. I spoke 1,000 words to you, but none were ever heard. You filled the room with empty noise, and silence stole my world. I waited for a single sign, but quiet took your place in time. When the silence spoke for me, it said all I couldn't scream. Through the quiet I was seen, not broken, just finally free. No more echoes, no more pleas. The silence spoke for me. I traced your voice in photographs, but they were out of frame. I wore your name like second skin, but it never felt the same. I learned that peace can sound like pain, but healing whispers through the rain. When the silence spoke for me, it sang louder than your lies. I found truth in empty space, no more need to justify. Not your version, not your dreams. The silence spoke for me. Let the quiet be my stillness I return, not broken, just finally free. No more echoes, no more pleas. The silence spoke for me, and I finally listened to me. I finally listened to me. And the silence spoke for me. It became the sweetest sound. In the stillness I return. No more need to justify. No more echoes, no more pleas. The silence spoke for me, and I finally listened to me. You showed up like a sunrise, lit my world in golden flame, said forever in a whisper, and then vanished just the same. I kept the words you never said in the quiet of my chest, but your silence told the story you never did confess. You loved me like a promise that never meant to stay. You held me like tomorrow would take it all away. Now I'm standing in the ruins of the things we didn't say. You remembered how to leave, but you forgot to stay. I still wear your last goodbye like a ribbon in my mind. Tried to chase your fading footprints, but they were never mine. You said the stars would guide us home, but you walked the other way. Now the night just echoes softly what you chose not to say. You love me like a fire that burned too bright to last. You kissed me like redemption, then vanished with the past. Now I'm lost among the ashes of the love we threw away. You remembered how to leave, but you forgot to stay. I was just a chapter, and you needed the end. But I gave you all the pages that I never learned to mend. You loved me like a heartbeat you never meant to keep. You haunted all my dreams, but never heard me weep. And I whispered to the ocean till it takes my pain away. You remembered how to leave, but you forgot to stay. You forgot to stay, but I remember everything. I still remember how you said goodbye, like you were leaving but you didn't cry. I watched the door, I held my breath, your silence louder than your steps, and I replay every single line like echoes caught in frozen time. This is where I leave you, in my heart, in a place where all the healing starts. No more waiting, no more tears, only memories and quiet years. You'll never know how far you went, but this is where the story ends. The dreams we built are turning gray, and I've run out of words to say. You faded like a distant song. It used to feel like home so long, but I forgive the way you broke the promises we never spoke. This is where I leave you in my heart, in a place where all the healing starts. No more waiting, no more tears, only memories and quiet years. You'll never know how far you went, but this is where the story ends. And I'll still smile when I recall where I leave you once and for all. This is where I leave you in my heart, in a place where all the healing starts. No more waiting, no more tears, only memories and quiet years. You'll never know how far you went, but this is where the story ends. But this is where the story ends. And I'll still smile when I recall where I leave you once and for all. You turn your back like the story's done, but I still stood there facing the sun. No angry words, just empty space. Love left your eyes without a trace. You didn't ask me how I feel. You moved on like it's no big deal. But I stayed up through every night, trying to understand what wasn't right. And I knew deep in my soul the only way was letting go. Still I said goodbye, though it tore my heart in two. Still I walked away, even when I needed you. You were silent, I was loud, saying all the things I'm not allowed. Still I said goodbye, even though you never tried. I practiced lines I never say, in hopes you care enough to stay. But love should never beg or plead, so I gave you what you didn't need. You smiled like nothing broke apart, but I was bleeding from the start. Sometimes strong means letting go, even when it hurts you so. Still I said goodbye, though it tore my heart in two. Still I walked away, even when I needed you. You were silent, I was loud, saying all the things I'm not allowed. Oh, still I said goodbye, even though you never tried. The rain fell down, but I stood tall. A quiet end, no curtain call. You didn't love me, and that's why. Still I said goodbye. Still I said goodbye. Ooh, I practice lines I never say, in hopes you care enough to stay. But love should never beg or plead, so I gave you what you didn't need. You smiled like nothing broke apart, but I was bleeding from the start. Sometimes strong means letting go, even when it hurts you so. Still I said goodbye. With my hands not holding tight. Still I walked alone, fading softly into night. You just watched, didn't cry, but I knew it was time to fly. Still I said goodbye. You still said goodbye. You smiled like it meant something real, but I could tell by how you feel. You said we're fine, like it's a script, but your love's already slipped. I waited in the quiet nights for words that never came, and every touch just felt polite, no passion in your name. You said everything was fine, but you weren't. I stayed trying to fix what you wouldn't. I believed the lines you drew, but I was loving more than you. You said everything was fine, but you weren't. I held on while your heart let go, pretending not to know. You made me feel like I was wrong for holding on too long. You whispered with a hollow sound, like echoes in a hall. You kissed me but were breaking down. You built an unseen wall. You said everything was fine, but you weren't. I stayed trying to fix what you wouldn't. I believed the lines you drew, but I was loving more than you. You said everything was fine, but you weren't. And now I know pretending love is lonelier than letting go. The silent scream so loud at night, your heart left long ago. You said everything was fine, but you lied, and I kept dancing in your quiet goodbye. Now I'm done being blind, I deserve someone who tries. You said everything was fine, but I cried. And I won't fix the cracks you made, I'll find peace in my own way. Goodbye to all your quiet lies. This time I'll be fine. You left without a warning, like the wind that fades at night. I whispered all my prayers to the stars that lost their light. I still wear your memory like a dress, stitched with hope and tenderness. But I still believe in love, even when the sky won't clear. I still believe in us, though your voice is just a tear. Time may take your shadow, but it can't steal my dreams of a heart that still believes. The photographs are fading, but I see your eyes in mine. And every song that finds me feels like fate's secret sign. Time may take your shadow, but it can't steal my dreams of a heart that still believes. The photographs are fading, but I see your eyes in mine. And every song that finds me feels like fate's secret sign. I still feel you in the rain, dancing gently through the pain. Yes, I still believe in love. Even when the world turns cold, I still believe in us. Though your hand I'll never hold. Time may move without you, but my soul won't ever leave. A heart that still believes. The photographs are fading, even when the world turns cold. I still believe in us, though your voice is just a tear. Time may take your shadow, but it can't steal my dreams of a heart that still believes. Maybe we were meant to break, to learn how much a soul can take. But every crack in me still sings of you and all the love you bring. I still believe in love. Though this silence softly grieves, I still believe in us. In the story no one sees. Even if forever was never ours to keep, I am still the heart that believes. And I be the heart that still believes. We stood under flickering lights, your hands too cold, your smile too tight. You said we've reached the final page, but I was still inside the stage. You whispered maybe this is best, while I still wore your beating chest. You left me dancing with the dark, a love that only left a mark. I wanted more than goodbye, more than silence in your eyes. I needed reasons, I needed time. You gave me distance wrapped in lies. You turned and walked while I still tried. I wanted more than goodbye. And closed the door. I begged for less pain, not more. I held on like it wasn't done. You slipped away like morning sun. Your shadow lingers in my sleep, in every promise you didn't keep. I screamed in thoughts I couldn't say. You faded like a film in gray. I wanted more than goodbye, more than silence in your eyes. I needed reasons, I needed time. You gave me distance wrapped in lies. You turned and walked while I still tried. I wanted more than goodbye. I won't chase your fading light. I won't beg to hold you tight. You left me broken, but I see I lost you long before you left me. I wanted more than goodbye, more than tears I had to hide. I needed closure, not this fight. You vanished like the morning tide. You said nothing, not even why. I wanted more than goodbye. Now I walk where we once stood, alone but free, and that feels good. I loved too much, but I survived. I wanted more, but I'm still alive. I still sleep on my side of the bed. Though you're gone, your voice stays in my head. You said forever with a quiet tone, then vanished like a ghost I'd never known. Every mirror shows your smile, though it's been a painful while. I reach for you in midnight's glow, but you're just someone I used to know. You left with your echo, still ringing soft and low. A whisper in the wind I chase, a touch I'll never face. I gave you all I could show. Now I'm left with your echo. I wear your sweater in the rain, pretending warmth can mask the pain. You promised skies, you gave me night. You were my wrong that once felt right. Now the clock ticks loud and slow, in the silence we used to go. I walk the rooms like they still speak, but your goodbye was far too bleak. You left with your echo, still ringing soft and low. A whisper in the wind I chase, a touch I'll never face. I gave you all I could show. Now I'm left with your echo. I wear your sweater in the rain, pretending warmth can mask the pain. You were the song I couldn't write, the fire that burned without the light. You left, but parts of you remain in every soft September rain. You left with your echo, still ringing soft and low. A whisper in the wind I chase, a touch I'll never face. I gave you all I could show. Now I'm left with your echo. Maybe I'll forget your name, but the echo, it still sounds the same. Maybe I'll forget your name, but the echo, it still sounds the same. You used to call me every night, told me I made the darkness light. But lately silence takes your place, and I no longer see your face. I tried to hold on, I tried to stay, but your heart had slowly slipped away. You looked at me, but saw right through, like I was just someone you once knew. When I was enough, you held me tight, said I was your only, your fire, your light. Now I'm a shadow of your love, fading fast, not strong enough. Tell me, was I ever truly loved, or only when I was enough? We built a world with whispered dreams. Now I wake up to empty scenes. You said we'd write 1,000 songs, but now I hum them all alone. I waited long for your return, but love can't grow where it won't burn. You kissed me like a distant friend, a chapter closed before the end. When I was enough, you held me tight, said I was your only, your fire, your light. Now I'm a shadow of your love, fading fast, not strong enough. Tell me, was I ever true? You packed your words in a quiet sigh, left me drowning in the reasons why. No fight, no tears, just slipped away, a ghost in the light of yesterday. I kept my voice inside the storm, hoping silence might keep us warm. But nothing grows where love has died, only echoes we can't hide. And now there's only the silence after goodbye, the kind that lingers, the kind that cries. Your name still haunts the empty air, like you were here but never cared. I gave you all, you walked away, and left me with the words you wouldn't say. To trace my every scar, now I'm just space where your memories are. Your love was soft, then cold as stone. How did I end up loving alone? I kept pretending you still tried, but your eyes had already lied. We faded fast, then disappeared, like every vow we once held dear. There's only the silence after goodbye, the kind that lingers, the kind that cries. The name still haunts the empty air, like you were here but never cared. I gave you all, you walked away, and left me with the words you wouldn't say. You used to trace my every scar, now I'm just space where your memories are. Your love was soft, then cold as stone. How did I end up loving alone? I gave you all, you walked away, and left me with the words you wouldn't say. I begged for moments you let go, held on too tight to a broken home. You closed the door, I watched it close, still whispering things I'll never know. There's only the silence after goodbye, where love once lived and dreams would lie. I stood my ground, I faced the night, but lost the will to hold the light. You left me here in yesterday, with all the love you threw away. No more tears to dignify, just the silence after goodbye. Said love fades, you said it's gone, but mine stayed long after you moved on. I kept your sweater, I wore your name, even when the silence grew like shame. You let go so easily, like we were just a memory. But every night I held on tight to pieces of you, a ghost in the light. I loved you longer than I ever said, held on in silence alone in my bed. You walked away while I stayed behind, still chasing dreams we left undefined. I loved you longer, longer than you'll ever know. I still recall your coffee smile, your voice like rain that stayed a while. But now it echoes soft and far, a wish on a faded shooting star. You made it look so effortless, while I'm still drowning in the mess of every song and every street that still remembers where we used to meet. I loved you longer than I ever said, held on in silence alone in my bed. You walked away while I stayed behind, still chasing dreams we left undefined. I loved you longer, longer than you'll ever know. And maybe someday you'll look back and see the one who loved you endlessly. But by then, I'll be long gone, a name in a song, a whisper at dawn. I loved you deeper than you ever guessed. Through all the heartbreak, I gave my best. You found your freedom, I found my pain, but I'd do it all over again. I loved you longer than you'll ever know. Long after your goodbye, I loved you longer. You said forever like a lullaby, then faded out without goodbye. I traced your voice in midnight rain, but found only shadows calling my name. I kept your words inside my chest, a melody that never rests. You left too soon, too fast, too cold, and now I'm dancing with the echo you sold. You left with your echo and I stayed with the sound of promises whispered, now buried underground. I held on to silence like it could bring you back, but every heartbeat just fades to black. You left with your echo, and all I have is that. You moved on like morning light, while I'm still lost in endless night. The songs we played still haunt my room, each note a wound I can't undo. I sing your name but it won't reply, just fades beneath the starless sky. You wrote the end and turned the page, while I'm still trapped inside this cage. You left with your echo and I stayed with the sound of promises whispered, now buried underground. I held on to silence like it could bring you back, but every heartbeat just fades to black. You left with your echo, and all I have is that. If love was a ghost, then you were mine, flickering like fire, then gone with time. But I still whisper to the air, pretending for a moment you're there. You left with your echo, I'm still chasing the tone of dreams that crumbled when you left me alone. I scream into silence but it won't scream back, just echoes of you in shades of black. You left with your echo, and I can't get back. You're gone, but your echo stays. But your echo stays. You walked away, suitcase in hand, like all we were meant nothing in the end. I stood frozen at the door, wishing you'd turn just once more. But your eyes said everything before your mouth could lie, and I was left with silence where our future used to lie. I'm still holding the goodbye you whispered in the rain, still replaying every tear like a song stuck in my brain. You let go so easily, leave. You moved on with the sky. I'm still holding the goodbye, but bed's still cold on your side. Your laugh still haunts the hall at night. I fold your shirt like it still means something more than memories. I beg the stars to bring you back, but wishes fade at dawn, and I'm left chasing shadows of someone long gone. I'm still holding the goodbye you whispered in the rain, still replaying every tear like a song stuck in my brain. You let go so easily, while I still bleed silently. You moved on with the sky. I'm still holding the goodbye. Maybe love was never fair, maybe loss was always there, but I gave you all of me, you gave me just despair. I'm still holding the goodbye that shattered my whole sky. Still breathing through the ache, still asking the empty why. You found peace in walking away, I found pain that wants to stay. You moved on, I can't deny, but I'm still holding the goodbye. And I'll keep holding till goodbye finally lets go of me. You said I'll call when I know what to say, but the phone stayed quiet every day. I waited with the hope too loud, in a world where you don't come around. I read our texts like holy lights, trying to find a reason why. But silence screamed, but you couldn't speak, and it tore the ground beneath my feet. When the silence answered you, I knew it answered me too. No more lies, no soft pretend, just the quiet truth in the end. You didn't say goodbye aloud, but your silence was too proud. So now I know it's true, you were gone when the silence answered you. I replayed your voice till the tape wore thin, hoping to feel you breathe again. But echoes don't replace the real, and ghosts don't care how I feel. The stars don't blink when hearts break slow, and time won't ask which way you'll go. But I still beg the midnight blue to give me one last piece of you. When the silence answered you, I knew it answered me too. No more lies, no soft pretend, just the quiet truth in the end. You didn't say goodbye aloud, but your silence was too proud. So now I know it's true, you were gone when the silence answered you. Maybe I deserve the final word, or maybe pain is what I earned. But it's the quiet that cuts deep, the things you never said to me. When the silence answered you, I finally heard the truth. It wasn't love, it wasn't fate, it was just too late. And I stood in that goodbye, now with tears but with dry eyes. You didn't have to choose, silence already spoke for you. So I'll whisper to the waves tonight, let them carry what we couldn't write. You disappeared without a clue, and I stayed when the silence answered you. You never heard the way I prayed when you were just a breath away. I traced your name on frosted glass, pretending time would never pass. You said love was something loud, but mine was whispered in the crowd. I held you close without a sound, while you kept chasing something proud. I loved you in the quiet, when no one ever knew, where silence said forever, and I gave it all to you. You looked for fire and thunder, but missed the gentle truth. I loved you in the quiet, and lost myself in you. You needed noise to feel alive, while I was drowning deep inside. You kissed like storms, then disappeared, and left your echo in my tears. I was the calm, the steady light. You were the star that burned too bright. You couldn't hear the way I stayed, when every word you spoke betrayed. I loved you in the quiet, when no one ever knew, where silence said forever, and I gave it all to you. You looked for fire and thunder, but missed the gentle truth. I loved you in the quiet, and lost myself in you. You never saw the way I broke behind the smiles I never spoke. And now the silence holds your name, but I don't cry the same. I loved you in the quiet, with everything I had. You never heard it breaking when it hurt too much to ask. Now you're chasing voices, but they don't sound like me. I loved you in the quiet, and that's where I set you free. In the hush of morning light, I let go without a fight. You never know what I went through, but I loved you in the quiet, and I'll never love like that again. I almost said your name last night, but the silence begged me not to fight. So I kept my heart inside my hands, and watched it break when no one stands. You left your words on every page, but none of them knew how to stay. I read between the lines too long, now I know where I don't belong. You were the poem I never finished, the truth I whispered and you diminished. All that we could be got lost in what we didn't say. I was the song you left unwritten, the love you feared but never given. And now I walk away with words I'll never get to say. What we hid, each promise sealed and then unlit. I held my breath for one more sign, but you let go before the climb. I stayed through echoes, stayed through doubt, while you just waited to walk out. You found escape, I found the truth, but it was never meant for two. You were the poem I never finished, the truth I whispered and you diminished. All that we could be got lost in what we didn't say. I was the song you left unwritten, the love you feared but never given. And now I walk away with words I'll never get to say. hands remains. You're the poem I never finished, the ghost inside our love diminished. We wrote in silence, line by line, but never crossed the final rhyme. I was the song you left unwritten, and still my heart remains forgiven. I'll let the story fade to gray and keep the tears I didn't say. Left unwritten, we're not Maybe in another life you would have stayed and held me right, but this chapter ends with just my name, and nothing in your hands remains. I was the song you left unwritten, and still my heart remains forgiven. I'll let the story fade to gray and keep the tears I didn't say. Ooh, left unwritten, but not unloved. You always loved with careful hands, afraid to feel, afraid to stand. I gave you truth, you gave me doubt, and every whisper turned to shouts. I stayed through storms you wouldn't name, hoping love would light the flame. Why do you love me when I leave? When the silence is all I receive, you let me go to feel the pain, then beg for me in falling rain. Why do your tears fall when I'm gone? When I was breaking all along, you only see me when I grieve. Why do you love me when I leave? You spoken promises too thin, each one a place I'd never been. I begged for something more than maybe, but maybe's where you always stay. I built a home you wouldn't keep, you shut the doors and watched me sleep. Why do you love me when I leave? When the silence is all I receive, you let me go to feel the pain, then beg for me in falling rain. Why do your tears fall when I'm gone? When I was breaking all along, you only see me when I grieve. Why do you love me when I leave? Ooh, when I leave. Ooh, I needed someone who would fight, not one who runs and hides from light. But now I see the love I gave was more than you could ever brave. Now you love me as I fade, as shadows steal the past we made. I walked away to find my voice, and in that silence made my choice. So keep your sorry in the breeze. I'm done with loving on my knees. You only miss me when I bleed. Why did you love me when I leave? I'm not your echo anymore. This time I'm closing all my doors. I walk through halls we used to know, the lights still flicker soft and low. Your laughter lingers in the walls, but now there's silence when night falls. I touch the door you never closed, still waiting where the shadows shadows froze. But I won't cry for echoes of before. No more reaching out to broken doors. You held my heart but not my hand, and I forgot where I could stand. Now I'm finding something more beyond the echoes of before. I wore the dress you said you loved. Now it just hangs a ghost above. The mirror shows a gentler face who's done with chasing what won't stay. You were the storm I tried to calm, but some goodbyes are quiet songs. But I won't cry for echoes of before. No more reaching out to broken doors. You held my heart but not my hand, and I forgot where I could stand. Now I'm finding something more beyond the echoes of before. I built a life outside your name, where pain no longer feels like blame. And in the quiet of the night, I found my way back to the light. No, I won't cry for echoes of before. I've closed the windows, locked the floor. You held my dreams in silent glass, but now I'm done reliving past. I've opened up a brighter door. No more echoes of before. I walk alone, but not afraid. Love lost, but peace has stayed. You left your coat and I let it hang by the door, like you might come back again. Your voice still dances in this place, like echoes I can't erase. I told myself I'd be okay, but I still reach out anyway. I held on longer than I should, loved you harder than you ever could. You walked away and I stayed, but still I wished you stayed. The clock keeps ticking, but nights are slow. Every silence screams what I won't show. Your coffee cup untouched, alone, like me waiting by the phone. I tell my heart it's just a phase, but every dawn feels like a maze. I held on longer than I should, loved you harder than you ever could. You walked away and I stayed, but still I wish you stayed. I'm learning how to breathe without your name, but healing never feels the same. I smile but only halfway through, 'cause part of me still aches for you. I let go slower than my tears still fall the same. You moved on like songs just fade.